You supposed to provide the true information. You must be truthful. You must be honest with your application no matter what. And if the Home Office was to find you were not honest providing the information, there is straight refusal. Spouse visa application and its refusals. So in this video I want to talk about a spouse visa application and its refusal. Mainly let's talk about refusal because people are making spouse visa applications themselves, and spouse visa application is not submitting the specified evidence. And you will say, what is that? What does it mean? When people prepare their spouse visa application themselves, they do qualify mainly. They have this 18,600 of earnings. Either they're employed or they're self-employed. If it's employed, it's easier, I would say. Like it's basically bank statement letter from employer as a specified evidence. But if it's self-employed, then it's more complicated. Even when I was to prepare that application, I will just give a proper attention to that application, because even as a lawyer, practicing for so many lawyers, I get concerned about financial requirement of spouse visa application. When I say concern is, I will be more attentive, I'll be more alert. I say, this is a spouse visa application based on a self-employed sponsor. So you can imagine, there is an element of complexity involved when it's a spouse visa application based on self-employed earnings or earnings from limited company as a director withdrawing dividends. So please do pay a lot of attention if you fall in one of these category. If you are employed, it's easier. You just provide payslip, bank statement, and letter from employer and any other required documents. But number one, not providing the specified evidence has been a number one reason of refusal. Number two, failing to provide material information or fact. What does it mean? So, and this comes from mainly overseas. When there are agents, they are not qualified to provide legal, immigration advice, or they were not even trained, provide UK immigration advice. When they complete the application form and there is a question, have you ever been refused visa for any country? That sort of question you get when you complete the application form online. So what these agents, they advise to clients, it's perfectly fine, you have changed your passport, but it's about a different country, they might not, you have changed your passport, probably Home Office would not find it. That's incorrect. The fact information Home Office cannot find, that's incorrect. That's first is incorrect, because they can find it, right? With your biometric detail, they can, and then with your name and date of birth, they can find all the information you supplied till date to the Home Office, right? They will find it. But irrespective whether they can or they cannot find it, you supposed to provide the true information. You must be truthful. You must be honest with your application no matter what. And if you are not, and if the Home Office was to find you were not honest providing the information, there is straight refusal. And the downside of this refusal is not just one-off refusal. This refusal might attract further refusals for next 10 years. Under general grounds of refusal being dishonest. Might not be applicable for, let's say, spouse visa, but it is applicable for many immigration applications. So you must be completely transparent and honest with your immigration application, no matter what application you submit to the Home Office. So this was the second biggest reason I could think of. It's again lack of awareness. It wasn't intentional. But whether you do it or your agent does it, you will be penalized, not your agent. So you hold the responsibility of any information you provide to the Home Office through agent or without the agent. So please do bear in mind, provide the factual information. If you are in doubt, just seek the legal advice. Go to a professional, ask them this question. That's number two reason. Number three reason is, and this is very important, okay? This is very, very important and might not be applicable to many of you, but might be applicable to some of you. Number three, if you were in the UK and had access to NHS and you did not pay your bill, then you might not get your spouse visa. You had to pay your bills. if there is any outstanding to NHS more than £1,000 something or £500. I had this sort of application in past where someone was a visitor, overstayer here, got married to a British citizen, went back home to submit spouse visa application, but then we discovered there was an outstanding debt to the NHS. So we asked the client, pay this debt and then we'll submit the application, and we did that. It was approved. She had a very bad legal advice in the UK, submitting frivolous lot of applications to switch her immigration status from overstayer to spouse visa were unsuccessful. We recognized that she was not eligible to submit in the UK, advised her to go home, and this previous lawyer literally messed up with the entire application, not even advising client to pay off the NHS debt, and in fact advised client to lie in the application, and there was a lot of complication. But fortunately, and finger crossed, we managed to overcome those obstacles for that specific client and managed to get the spouse visa application for herself. So number 3 is, if you have any outstanding NHS debt, pay it off before the application and submit the evidence to the Home Office. There is no way of not finding this information, because with your name and date of birth, Home Office will have access to any data in the UK, including NHS and HMRC. Number 4 refusal reason is not doing the right application form. Can you believe that? It does happen. People do submit a different application form completely. So these days all the applications are online. It's unlikely or less likely to make this sort of error, but it does happen. People do submit settlement application rather than spouse visa application, which is leave to remain for 2.5 years. It's called leave to remain or entry clearance application as a spouse of a settled person for 2.5 years. People end up submitting a settlement application, and people do that when they do it themselves, and it's a lot of money. So yeah, please do bear in mind, that is the 4th reason. Do submit the right application form. If you are not sure, please do go and get the proper legal advice. Number 5, very less likely, but it does happen, having bad character. So having a criminal conviction, very nasty one, or having deportation order against you might prevent you getting spouse visa application. Having said that, I want to share a story. So I had a client a few years back, and he actually overstayed in the UK, came to us, got married with a British spouse, came to us. What do I do? Of course, my advice was based on the information I had at that point of time, for him to go home and submit entry clearance application. It's kind of common advice for overstayer in the UK, unless they have a British child. This guy did not have a British child, so he went home. But interestingly, he was jailed in UK for having a fake French ID on him. He did not disclose this to us, of course. Then when we submitted this application, was refused, and he was very embarrassed. He said, "Oh, sorry, look, I thought might not come up, but here we are." Then we went on to appeal. We appeal against the decision, explain his human rights, and also argued there was a child of his spouse. It wasn't his child, but his spouse's child, British citizen. Explain the best interest of that child, and we managed to overturn the decision. So yeah, it does happen, but I think best advice is to be honest, transparent. If you are not sure, feel free to seek legal advice from a professional lawyer. But if you follow this, hopefully you might have a good outcome. Can't guarantee, of course, it's just a short video, but I hope this might help. So if you like the content of this video, may I please request you to like the video, comment in the comment section if you have any follow-up question, or if you want me to do more videos. Why don't you just drop your comment now? Please subscribe to my channel. If you do that, I'll be very encouraged to put more videos for you. And I love sharing the content. I love sharing my experience, expertise and knowledge. All the very best for your spouse visa application. Thank you.